what's going on?
Okay, so it is Saturday, I believe the December 2nd. All, the days have ran into each other the last week with me. So basically, the BLM came out to the jump site yesterday and explained that I was actually still on their property by 150 feet. And so basically, we've uprooted everything, as you can see in the background. And then we're going to move the rocket over to Albert's property, who owns Amboy, who owns the Juan Polo Chicken restaurant chain, which we thought we was on it already. And we're going to reset back up. We've got to build maybe a 50-foot road to even get over to the area we need to be. And we're going to have a level spot for the rocket launcher now. So hopefully we can be set back up by tomorrow afternoon.
And what are you trying to prove here?
Well, basically, the jump itself, we're just trying to jump a mile with about 1,800 feet altitude. And the purpose of this jump was to raise awareness, put my name back in the media, which is done around the world. And after this jump, we're going to start raising money to put me into the space, the edge of space, which is called the Kármán line, 62 miles up. And we have a plan to do that. And I believe we already have the propulsion system to do that. But it's $1.8 million, and we will prove if the Earth is flat, round, shaped like a frisbee, or if we don't even live on it, if it's all illusionary.
Yeah. What is your what do you think the Earth looks like?
It's probably like a frisbee with turned up edges. Auguste Piccard, a very brilliant man, went up in his own spear in 1931, which is documented. He took off from Soldier Field in Chicago, and they actually thought he was lost in space. He came down, I think, a day late or something like that, and he got down. He said, you know, it kind of looks. He went up 10 miles. He said it kind of looks flat with turned up edges. So, and this is a hard thing for most people to get their arms around. It was for me initially also. But, you know, you got to realize most things that we are taught and told in our lifetime is not true, okay? It's been altered, fabricated, it didn't ever exist, or they had an agenda, and that's almost everything. I don't care if it's the school system, these wars, everything else. So basically, what's happened is, what I discovered, what I researched for 4 to 5, maybe 6 months, and I could not dismiss it, that the world, I believe, is honestly flat. Okay? Of course, it's got mountains and whatever, but there's no curvature. The Earth is supposed to be 25,000 miles around the equator. Okay? That's what they tell us it is. Well, that equates out to 8 inches per mile squared. Okay? It's supposed to drop. So, it's going to drop 8 inches that way, and behind me. Squared. So you guys start going down 100 miles, it's quite a bit of curve. In other words, between California and Hawaii, there should be 700, I think, 40-something miles of curve, maybe 50 miles, 750 miles of curve between California and Hawaii, and it's not there. It's not there, folks, okay? Now, there's a salt flat in Bolivia that is 80 miles wide, 100 miles long, that is completely flat. So if there's not any curvature there, where's that curvature made up at? See? So what they're hiding is in Antarctica. They have an Antarctica treaty which has been, I think, around since '58. Now also in 1958, they formed NASA. They also found out of the Van Allen radiation belts in 1958. Now they also started firing nuclear weapons up into the sky between 58 and 62 from Russia and here in this country. They didn't tell anybody about. What were they doing shooting nukes up in the sky? We think they're trying to break through the firmament, which the firmament would be, which is mentioned in the Bible, which covers the whole planet. It's kind of like a biosphere. Now, if that's not enough for everyone, in 1954, a very famous discoverer, explorer, a very well-respected man, Admiral Byrd, on national live television, stated on the other side of Antarctica there is a landmass bigger than the United States never explored. He said this on live TV, okay? Why would he make it up? Because he don't need it. He was one of the best known guys in the world. Why? He doesn't need to make up anything. So if you look on a globe, down where that would be at, that piece of land would be the Indian Ocean. There is no land there. So that is another reason for me to think that the world really is flat. Antarctica is full of resources. Uranium, coal, oil for thousands of years worth. And that's what they're protecting. It's all militarized. So once you know all these other facts, and then you know that they see space walks they do in space is done in a 40-foot deep by 300-foot pool. That's documented. And they got full-scale models on there of their ISS and all the Apollo missions and everything, and even China has one now, and that's how they fake these spacewalks. Because supposedly, if you're up in space, you're traveling at 17,000 miles an hour, so how do you, I would think you'd have to hold on after you come out of a spacecraft, wouldn't you? And they never show them going back into an airlock. So they're exiting, they're inside the spacecraft. They have to go into an airlock before they leave that area to go outside. They never show that airlock door. No one does. So it's just a whole lot of things that made me think, this is all fraud too. And I know it's a lot for people to get a hold of, but it is what it is.
So do you want to be the one who kind of opens the eyes? Do you want to be the...
Other people's open the eyes. There's a guy named Eric Dubay in Thailand who is a brilliant man about explaining all this. He's forgotten more than I'll ever know about it. And he's got a very nice voice. He's a martial artist, and he teaches yoga, and he's just a well-spoken man. And he'll explain to you about, he's got a lot of videos about the flat earth, about dinosaurs, and why they've done this, why the big delusion is about all this. So I just started putting all the pieces together, which is what I do. I take everything, a big thing, take it down to small pieces, I understand, put it back up to the big thing. That's what I did with flat earth, and I couldn't dismiss it.
Great.